Today I'm all about hearty winter fare. Rich meat pies to warm the cockles of your heart, and to cool it all off, the creamiest milk pudding I've ever created. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4. There's spuds galore as I head out on a quest to find the perfect potatoes for my meat and 2 potato pie. Proper northern pie, this one. I'll be putting my twist on a classic panna cotta using plump blueberries and farm fresh buttermilk. Don't they look great? Look at the colour of them. And it's a Lancastrian love fest in the kitchen as fellow northerner Nigel Howarth joins me for a dose of gastronomic nostalgia.
So mutton's an elderly sheep.
You're talking about something with a bit of age. I think we've aged well. And I seek inspiration from my roots as I recreate the classic Liverpool dish, scouse, but with a Hollywood twist. It's a sort of posh-ish scouse, which is supposed to be like me. And my guests get to share in today's spread and tell me what they think.
That's really nice, isn't it?
It's long on the palate, isn't it?
It made a cow very happy.
And if you want to make any of today's dishes, go to the BBC website for the full recipes. I've been making meat and potato pies for donkey's years, but my recipe is slightly unusual because I use 2 types of potato. But with so many varieties out there, do we really know our spuds? The humble spud. It's been the most popular veg in British kitchens for years, and we consume over 9 billion of them every single year, not to mention our chippies. But I'm here today at the Bucks County Show to see just what people think of that humble veg, the potato. So my meat and 2 potato pie. The big choice is what potatoes. I need 2 different varieties that are going to do different jobs when cooked. And I wondered how many varieties my fellow fairgoers actually know. Can you name any potatoes?
Right. Desiree.
Yeah.
King Edward.
Yeah.
Jersey Royal. Morris Piper.
Do you like potatoes?
Potatoes? I know that. Not potatoes.
Potatoes.
King Edward.
Jersey Royals.
Desiree. Charlotte. Yeah, Charlotte. New potato.
No.
Oh, Apache.
Charlotte. What?
Sweet potatoes, that count?
King Edwards.
Yeah.
Desiree.
Anytime you want to chip in. What's your favourite one?
A decent sized one.
Baked potato. So the overwhelming 3 are Jersey, Desiree, King Edwards, and that's it. Very, very strange considering how many different types are out there at the moment. They're the leading 3. Well, in books anyway. County fairs are always buzzing with friendly local rivalry, and the world of competitive vegetable growing is no exception. This is probably more my thing. I need to drag myself away from cakes and shortbreads and breads. Hello.
Hello, Paul.
I know a judge when I see one. Another fellow judge, but in a different arena.
Different arenas.
What are you looking for when you're judging this bud?
Well, colour, condition, uniformity.
I know you just started looking around, but off the top of your head, which one do you reckon is the best?
There's a particularly good variety there. The single coloured class.
Yeah.
These 3 are the best. I've awarded this best exhibit.
I mean, they do look all pretty much the same size, exact uniformity, consistency across the whole patch. With all the judging done and dusted, it's time for the public to enter. Okay, all the general public are now back in here. Judging has been finalised. Everybody knows who's won and who hasn't. Hello, John. Nice to meet you. Best in show, I believe. So what are you going to do now with these potatoes? You're going to take it home and mash it to death and have it with a bit of salt?
Oh, I might save the purple and silver for next year's soup.
Good luck anyway, thanks. Unfortunately, the supermodels of the spud world are no use to me. I need something more down to earth. I need 2 types of potato to work in my meat pie. And Dr. Mike Story, one of the country's top spud experts, is just the man for the job. To find out the true character and consistency of a potato, you need to parboil it. So that's exactly what Dr. Mike is doing to help me find the perfect blend of spuds for my meat and potato pie. So can you tell me the difference between sort of a Desiree and a King Edward? What would each bring to the table?
Yeah, well, King Edward's particularly suitable for summer roasts. Desiree red skin variety makes a lovely creamy mash.
And what about a good all-rounder?
Mars Piper, that's probably the most widely grown variety and the one that you'll find in most supermarkets. That's a good all-round potato.
So what have we got here then, Mike?
That's the King Edward, and so when you've broken it down, it breaks apart very easily.
So that's the fluffy variety.
That's the fluffy varieties that we're talking about.
Okay.
For my recipe, I need a potato with a similar powdery consistency and another that will hold its shape and texture.
So what else have we got in here then?
Charlotte.
Okay.
You can see that has stayed much firmer, and you put that side by side, you can see it's a very firm texture.
Yeah.
That will have a very, very firm bite.
Considering they've both been in there at the same time, that one is beautiful and soft, and that one is rock hard.
This is Desiree. This is more of a smooth texture. This would make a great mash because it hasn't got as grainy mouthfeel as the King Edwards. This final one is Mars Piper. That's much more like the King Edward.
Yeah, it is.
In that case, that's probably the most popular variety with the chip chops.
Does that fry well, colours well?
It fries well, it colours well, and it's once it's fried, it's got that fluffy middle.
So, if it's fluffy mash you're after, then the Desiree is the spud for you. But if you need a potato that can stand the heat without falling apart, go for a sturdy Charlotte. And if you're making roasties, you can't beat a King Edward. Still confused? Then the Mars Piper is the best all-rounder for you.
Thanks, Mike. Okay. That was fascinating actually to discover that people knew not that many different varieties of spuds.
That's surprising because there's an awful lot of varieties available in the supermarket, but it's understanding which varieties are there and what they're best suited for in terms of cooking.
Now I'm making a meat and potato pie, and I've got the two types of spuds here that we chose. You sure that's the right one? Because I'm not going back to the shop now to go get some more.
That's a Charlotte, typically seen as a salad variety, but it'll be great for cooking within the pie, and the Desiree, a very popular red variety.
Do you know your spuds?
I hope so.
Crack on, peeling that.
Great, thanks.
Right, what I'm going to do is break down some of these spuds. Now I've got the two types of spuds here, so if you can peel that lot, it doesn't have to because I've got them all here already. Now I'm actually using chuck steak.
Chuck steak or braising steak is packed with flavour and really benefits from being cooked slowly.
I'm just going to chop up roughly the spuds. Now it's a pie which I remember having when I was quite small actually. Have you got your favourite meat potato pie?
I like cottage pie. It's different. You've got the creamy mash on the top rather than potatoes within the pie itself.
So what would you use for that then, Mike?
Something like Desiree.
Yeah.
Again, that makes a really nice creamy mash.
So have you been swatting up on your different types of potatoes?
Over the years, yes, yeah.
So how many types do you reckon you can name, Mike, if I was to drop you on the spot now?
Mars Piper,
Yep.
Mars Peer,
Yep.
Pentland Crown, Pentland Dell, Desiree, SML Wilger,
Yep.
Marfona,
Yep.
King Edwards,
Slow up
and
there, Mike.
Burbank.
Getting cocky now,
Yeah,
Mike. You've been practicing, haven't you?
I did have a look.
Next, I roughly chop an onion and throw it in with the raw chuck steak. Then pour in enough water to cover the meat and bring to the boil.
If you find later when you're cooking this off you've got too much liquid, you can leave it to one side and use that as a gravy anyway. I'm just going to put a little bit of seasoning in there.
Cover the pan and simmer gently for about an hour and a half until the sauce thickens and the meat is tender.
All the meat is tender. The smell is fantastic. But again, it hasn't been brown, but look at the colour of the meat. It's just breaking apart at the moment.
Finally, add both types of the potatoes to the meat mixture. Season and cook for a further 35 minutes. The Desiree potatoes will break down to thicken the sauce, whilst the Charlotte potatoes keep their bite.
Look at this. This is the mixture that's been thickened slightly with the potatoes. Good, lumpy, proper northern pie, this one. Okay, you've got your filling. Now I need to choose a lid. Now I've decided to go down a very traditional route. I've got my plain flour here, and I'm using suet.
Suet is usually raw beef or mutton fat, and it's perfect in this recipe because it adds to the flavour and helps give the pastry a better texture.
Now, meat and potato pie has probably been around for at least 400 years, 500 years. Henry VIII used to have meat potato pies. Do I look like Henry VIII, Mike?
Yeah.
I think it's the beard and the belly. You rub this together, try and break down that suet a little bit, and then the liquid goes in. When the liquid goes in, then you work it slightly. I still want those pieces of suet in there. It will break down, but it really adds to this dish.
So the suet that you're using, is it vegetable or animal suet?
It is animal. You can use vegetable if you want to. It's got more body to it, the animal. But if you want to, you could use butter in there. But I prefer to use it. I'm keeping it down a traditional method. It affects the pastry, and when you taste it later, it adds to the texture as well. So the whole idea is, it's quite a robust pastry.
I'm adding just enough cold water to bring the mixture together into a soft and slightly sticky dough.
That's a lot of hard work. Could you do it in a mixer to make it easy?
It's not hard work, right? Shows your bicep. You see, you've been picking potatoes, haven't you? You pick potatoes, and I do the pastry. Right. You see, the thing is, I would actually use a dough hook if you're doing that in a mixer, but to be honest, if you want to get rid of those bingo rings, this is the way to do it. Okay? You're listening, Mum. Mum's going to kill me now, Mike.
Yeah.
Work the pastry dough until it comes together and becomes smooth. Add a little extra plain flour if it starts to stick.
And I'm happy with that, okay? That's a good, robust pastry that will form the lid and also the rim around the outside, which will bond to that. So the next stage for me is to put the meat into the tin. So I get the meat. You can look at the lumps of the meat and the potatoes. And you can see as this is going in, the Desiree potato has done the job as a thickener. It's thickened that gravy beautifully. The shallots are staying quite plump, quite firm. So the whole thing together is going to work as a dish. It's simple but highly effective, which is what a pie is all about. Pop your dish back down there. Just make sure the juices are all the way covered. Now with your pastry, I'm just going to take a little bit of this off, because this is going to form the rim around the outside. Make a bit of space. Flatten it down with your fingers, and then roll it. Start in the middle, full length of your hand, nice and gently. I don't want to make this too glutinous. I don't want to make it too much of a bind, this pastry, because when you break into it, you want it literally just to fall through. If you work that dough too much, it's too rubbery. You're going to need a hacksaw and a blade to get through it. Tack it down onto the top of the plate, and just simply push it down onto the rim of the dish. So you've got your little binding agent for the lid to sit on.
To finish the pie, roll out the rest of the pastry to around 7 to 8 millimeters and lay it over the top of the dish, pressing it down onto the pastry rim.
The little blade, lift it up. Just neatly trim around the outside. I love this job. I used to do it with apple pies when I was a kid. 50 apple pies every hour. I used to be quite proud of myself. Just run around the outside. What I'm going to do now is just crimp it. And the way you do that is 2 fingers and a forefinger. Just push down and lift up. Quick as you like. I learnt this from my mum. She used to crimp the side of her pies like this. I think it looks attractive.
Finally, put a hole in the top to allow steam to escape and keep the pastry crisp, and bake for around 35 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius until golden brown.
And you can see straight away what the suet's done. It's given it that depth, it's given it that texture, it's given it that colour. And the whole thing together, that crispy top with the extra bit of pastry on the inside, there's your Dunkin' bit. Beautiful potatoes, thanks very much, Mike. With that meat that's been cooked for an hour and a half, it's really tender, and then it's gone into an oven. That, for me, is the best meat and potato pie you'll ever have.